Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Town Board meeting. Would you please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Here.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Here.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Here.
Councilman Marcocha?
Here.
Supervisor Colavita?
Here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. What I'd like to do is just indulge the boards, or ask the board for an indulgence to ask some guests to come up and speak. I know they have a busy schedule this evening, so I wanted to ask them to address the board now. So we're not going to stick to our usual specific agenda item. So Commander Foster, your floor is yours. Thank you for being here. I know you have a couple of good announcements.
Thank you very much, Tony. I really appreciate you letting us come on. I just want to let the people remind them that next year is going to be the 250th anniversary of our country. You know, and during that time from now, there has been casualties of almost 3 million, almost 1.5 million killed, 1.5 million casualties. It's a lot of people. Now, this year we're going to be doing the Battle of Fallujah from Afghanistan, but we're also going to be honoring the ones that came back wounded, seriously wounded. They've lost a good part of their lives. If we go back from the revolution till the Gulf War, there's always been more killed than wounded. The numbers are really staggering. It's because if somebody got wounded during those wars, they usually ended up dying. Since the Gulf War, that changed a little bit. In Vietnam and Korea, it came a little bit closer. There was about 2/3 killed, 1/3 wounded. But when we get to Afghanistan and Iraq, the number of wounded compared to the number of killed is 10 times. These guys are getting seriously wounded. They would have never made it through any other war, and they're coming home. And they're coming home in a need, a real need. And a couple of companies are helping them out a lot. That's Tunnel to Towers and Gary Sinise Foundation. We're going to talk about them at the memorial ceremony. And also we have 4 actual members of our post that were in the Battle of Fallujah. They're going to speak, and they're going to be in the journal. So I'd like to invite everybody to come. It would be so nice to see that place filled up. It's going to be in Eastchester High School. Doors are going to open at 6. The ceremony will start at 7. And we welcome everybody to come. And the supervisor has agreed to be our MC again. I appreciate that very much.
No problem.
And it's always, not entertaining, but it's informative. And we try to keep it at a nice pace, but it gives you a lot of information that you've never known before. And of course, our parade is going to be on the 18th. It's going to be leaving from Eastchester Library. It'll kick off at 3 o'clock down to Tuckahoe. And again, thank you so much, Tony. Without you, we would have never been able to do this. So thank you to the board and everything. You're really giving us 1,000% support. So thank you very much.
No problem.
Have a good night.
It's the least we could do. I'm
Yeah.
glad to see you joined also by Commissioner Anthony Laurie, Fire Commissioner Anthony Laurie.
Yeah, he keeps me company. He's a good guy.
He's your date for the night, right? Yes. So just so we're clear then, and we'll probably do a little production on this later, but on the 15th at 7 o'clock at the Eastchester High School Auditorium, you have the program, and then 3 o'clock on Sunday the 18th, starting at the Eastchester Public Library, going into Depot Square in Tuckahoe, correct?
Fantastic. Thank you
Great.
so much. And have a
We'll
good
see you
night.
then.
See you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Commander. All right, inasmuch as we gave them an opportunity, certainly we ask Jack and Lissa if you'd like to come up and talk about the Eastchester Historical Society, I'm sure.
Thanks to all of you, number one, for letting us speak tonight, but also for always being very supportive of the Eastchester Historical Site. Teresa and Joe have been liaisons for our board and served with our board. Sheila, we thank her for continuing to serve on the board. Without you, you know, we need a little guidance.
So she was I don't know if you were president or vice president when I was in 4th grade, and now I'm 27 and the president of it, so
Punch in the gut.
stick around.
Yeah, thanks, Jack.
What goes around comes around. Yeah, so, you know, between the pandemic and being homeless when we loaned our society to the fire department, it's now like we're phoenix rising out of the ashes. And our goal is to reintroduce the Eastchester Historical Society to the community. And that's one of the reasons we're here tonight. We want to reintroduce us, reintroduce all the things that we've been doing and that we're trying to do. As I said, we're kind of phoenix rising out of the ashes, and our email list is another version of that, because all our computer there crashed when the fire department was there, and we didn't know till we went back in. So we're all using all our own devices, trying to pull everything together. And we want to thank one of our co-treasurers here, because she and our other co-treasurers, they've become our membership, and they have been working on email lists. If you don't get an email from us, let us know, because everybody's name should be on the email list to let you know what's going on. We've really tried to be moving forward, and we spent the first few months, we're back about a little over a year, we've been really kind of, you know, trying to get things going, moving forward. And one of the things, we've had a lot of events at the library. They became a great partnership during the pandemic. But we had two amazing events in 2025. We had standing room only, and Sheila can attest to that. She kept getting chairs at the library as people kept coming in. And Holstein had a proclamation making it Richard Forliano Day for the County of Westchester. And then after that, in March, we had this wonderful historian author, Steve DeVillo, who told us these tales for Women's History Month, but also, as the vet said, it is the 250th commemoration of the American Revolution. And we have a lot of programs going on with that. But he told stories of female spies of the Revolution, you know, and connecting the Revolution and Women's History Month. So it was very exciting. And recently, the end of April in 1789 was when Washington made his journey from his home in Mount Vernon to the country's first capital, Federal Hall in New York City. Some people still think it was always Philadelphia, but that's another story. And, you know, he was greeted with arches and laurels all along the way. And Mike Grillo, AKA George, he went through all his writings and saw how humble and how he was almost embarrassed for the beautiful way that they treated him. And he really got that across to the people that we had there. So that was very nice. Joe has some cards he's going to give you later. We have our next big event is June 1st. We're having a first major open house. It's going to be connected to the 250th commemoration of the American Revolution, because the U.S. Army, this is their 250th year also. So Mike's going to do an encampment. We're going to have activities and scavenger hunts for the children and adults. So we're going to have a very exciting program. We invite you always to come and enjoy it, and we appreciate all that you do. And other things that day is one of the other many programs that people have done. Sheila worked with Eagle Scouts, and we're going to unveil all new painting, all new signs. It's just going to be, it's going to be very exciting, again, as we resurrect ourselves, as we come out of the ashes, with some youth.
And Mike Fix.
Yeah, but I mean, we've really been busy. Sheila's been docenting with Jenny Steinhagen with all the schools in the area. Mike's been doing reenactments. We've been doing marching. I've been working on a committee with a college professor with some of the other communities. We've been mentoring high school students in how to research, and there's going to be a video, YouTube videos by the end of the school year. We hope they're high school students, so, you know, that's kind of our prayer. And we've also been reintroducing ourselves to the business community, and thanks to another board member, Ellen DeCole, she's connected us with the Chamber of Commerce. We're hosting an event with them at the end of this month. So we're here. We hope to be available to you for the community, and again, we always thank you for helping us and being part of the community.
Absolutely.
History is alive and well. It's good.
It is indeed, and one thing that I think has been talked about a lot that I think Eastchester is poised to capitalize on is the 250th anniversary of the Revolution. I certainly know about it because it's been taught in the schools, and since, you know, I was in 4th grade in the society. But since our motto is Home of the Bill of Rights, I think the 250th for our town in particular, we can teach so much and engage the community so much. And in addition to membership, we're also open to ideas on how any of you or people that you know would like us to engage the community to celebrate not only the revolution, but also our town's prominent part in it. So if you have any ideas or people watching this do, please reach out to us, and we look forward to gaining more members. Our membership is essential to maintain all our numerous programs and the Marble Schoolhouse and Library, so we're looking forward to it.
If somebody were interested in getting involved, what's the best way for them to do that? Just reach out to, is there a website address or a Facebook page? Or
Yeah, EastchesterHistoricalSociety.org is our website. It's currently being renovated, but they can also message us on Facebook. I believe we have an Instagram page.
We have a Facebook page.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook,
Great.
they can reach out.
So, that's the way people do these days, We used to make a phone call, but now it's, you got to go online.
Well, we have the old mailing lists from 1995, but
go.
Facebook's probably easier these days.
Well, thank you very much for the information. Appreciate it.
Can I just jump in for one
course,
second?
of
I just
course.
want to, because Lissa, I know you mentioned that we're going to have the unveiling of the new signs on June 2nd. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank a couple of people, certainly Paul Mangione, who was the Eagle Scout, the young man who's endeavoring to become an Eagle Scout, our DPW, Rocco Latrella, has been there to assist with the bucket truck on numerous occasions, and Mike Santalicador from Sand Signs very generously offered to do the signs for the schoolhouse. So if you've driven down California Road recently and noticed that they were gone, they are undergoing a complete makeover, and they've come out beautiful. So we will be unveiling them, if you will, on June 2nd. Also wanted to make note of the fact that the Eastchester schools have recently, thanks to your work and work, Lori Giacobbe, who is a Board of Ed, trustee, working together with those people, and again, Paul Mangione, part of his Eagle Scout work was to bring the school back to the schoolhouse. Eastchester hasn't been there in probably many, many, many years. So they are now bringing the fourth graders back, and we are, of course, delighted to have them there. And then lastly, we will be honoring Mike Fix on that day. Mike Fix, who has done so much for the Historical Society as well as the town, past president, emeritus, and so forth. So we do hope the community comes out to join us in that regard. So thank you, Lissa and Jack, for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Okay, anyone else wish to address the board? No? Okay. Moving forward, then we have the approval of the minutes of the April 8th, 2025 Town Board meeting. Any proposed amendments or modifications?
None.
Someone make a motion to approve, same as submitted?
So moved.
Second?
Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Next, we have the reports of departments, boards, and commissions. Mr. Rader, Law Department report.
Yes, good evening. First, I have a resolution authorizing the approval of an application for a parade permit submitted by the Eastchester Veterans Ceremony Committee for the Memorial Day Parade to be held on Sunday, May 18th, 2025.
And that's at 3 p.m., and I'll make the motion, and as part of my motion, I'd like to include a waiver of the modest fee for our veterans. Someone care to second that?
Second.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye.
Okay, next, I have a resolution authorizing the setting of a recreation fee for the property located at 27 Summit Street, Section 76, Block 6, Lot 1, Eastchester, New York, in the amount of $35,000.
All right, just so people know, when a property is subdivided, not redivided, but subdivided, and a new lot is created, the New York State law provides for a recreation fee to be used by the town for the development of recreational and park equipment and facilities around the town. And under the law, you're supposed to provide for an area in the subdivision for recreation, but if there's only a single lot subdivision, you're not putting a park in your backyard, obviously. If it was 50 acres or 50 lots, different story. But anyway, on a single lot subdivision, in lieu of a recreation space, you can pay recreation fee, and that's what we're doing now. So I would make the motion to approve and accept the sum of $35,000 for the recreation fee for Section 76, Block 6, Lot 1, and ask for a second, please.
Second.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe.
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte.
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha.
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita.
Aye.
Okay, next I have a resolution authorizing the town board to change the marked metered parking spaces to designated parking, the permit parking spaces in the Summerfield Street lot. If you want me to just summarize briefly the resolution, pursuant to our local law 3 of 2000, back then when we changed the law, we authorized the town board by resolution to change metered parking from to permit parking, this area in Dunwoody, and I want to thank Joe Dooley and his office, along with the police department, for looking into this matter. We've had several residents, several business owners who have asked for us to provide some permit parking, so we went out there and looked at this lot, and a lot of the meter spaces aren't being used and utilized, so we thought it was best to change some of them to metered parking to make it convenient for the residents and also some of the business owners who have to reside or work in that district. So based on all that, I'll move that this time the resolution read as follows: that the town board of the town of Eastchester, upon recommendation from the Eastchester Police Department, do hereby designate the Summerfield Street lot metered spaces numbered DS5 through DS8, 4 metered spots, inclusive to be permit spaces, said permit zone to be in operation 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And at that time, and I think I discussed this with Joe also, so everybody knows out in the public that if people are interested, to contact the clerk's office to obtain information about those permit spaces.
All
Yes,
right.
that's right.
So moved.
Second.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe.
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte.
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha.
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita.
Aye.
Okay, next I have a resolution authorizing the town board to change the marked metered parking spaces to designated permit parking spaces in the Ackerman lot. Same summaries I just stated before, same concerns. And in this resolution, it be resolved that the town board of the town of Eastchester, again upon recommendation from the police department of Eastchester, designate the Ackerman lot metered spaces AL4 through AL9, 6 metered spots, inclusive to be permit spaces, and again, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that's the resolution before you.
All right. I'll move that also. Ask for a second, please.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe.
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte.
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha.
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita.
Aye.
Okay, next, resolution authorizing a settlement of a claim by Scarsdale Union Free School District against the town of Eastchester in the amount of $2,250 for damages sustained to their school bus by a town vehicle which occurred on September 9th, 2024.
So moved.
Second. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe.
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson.
Aye.
Councilman Marcotte.
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha.
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita.
Aye.
Okay, and last, I have a resolution authorizing a settlement of a claim by Martin Anaya against the town of Eastchester in the amount of $4,232.66 for damages sustained to Mr. Anaya's vehicle by a town vehicle on March 4th, 2025.
All right. So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe.
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte.
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha.
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita.
Aye. Okay, next we have the town clerk's report for the month of March 2025. Anything additional?
Just want to mention a couple things. There's been reports of solicitors going around town. So 2 suggestions. Sign up for the Do Not Knock register on our website, or give the clerk's office a call, and we'll walk you through what needs to be done there. And if you see somebody, it's likely they don't have a permit to do it, so call the police department, and they'll get out there and look at the situation. And then secondly, we've started to mail out the Garth Road, not mail out the permits for Garth Road, but the solicitation for the annual sign-up for permits on Garth Road. The existing permits go through June 30th. The new ones start on July 1st. So everybody's sending in their information now. As of today, in one day, we got over 200 requests. We'll probably get 1,500 before it's done, and we'll mail out those new permits probably mid-June. June 16th, I believe, is the date.
I want to piggyback on one thing also, not to be like the Grinch of summertime, but a lot of the ice cream vendors out there don't have permits. And you would think, not a big deal, but we want them to be permitted. not just because of the de minimis revenue we get out of it, but because then we have, a record of them being here. And if there's, God forbid, a bad load of ice cream sold, we know possibly where it came from. And it's also important to keep, the whole business in town a little more focused upon, so that we don't have issues. Years past, you used to have fistfights with the ice cream guys against each other because they were in different territories, and it was chaos. So I think it's a good idea to keep an eye on what's going on there. And of course, we wish them the best and hope they make a lot of money here, but we got to keep an eye on things too. Okay, next. That moves us to the correspondence agenda, and I have a memorandum from the controller regarding personnel appointment. These are predominantly for Lake Isle, for pool director positions, lifeguards, EMTs, and some counselors are starting to pile in now. So I'd make a motion to approve same as submitted. Ask for a second.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Next, I have a memorandum from the controller regarding some budget transfers. There's some miscellaneous transfers and revisions. Someone care to make a motion on these?
So moved.
All right. I'll second same. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Next, I have a memorandum from the controller regarding the CSEA union settlement for 2025 through 2028. And though we've had, a lot of sit-down meetings with them, we finally have resolved on a memorandum of agreement, which is favorable to both sides. We have an increase in 25 of 2.75%, 26 3.0%, 27 3.0%, and 28 3.0%. Also, we added a small additional amount for the longevity payment, and also we have increased the waiver to be paid in installments. And just the waiver is if you have health insurance coverage and you don't need it from the town, then we give you as an incentive not to take the coverage, because we'd rather give you, $5,000 than spend $28,000 on a family premium. So anyway, that was all squared away in there. And also, we're just going to move some laborers to different groups. But all in all, it's very reasonable. They're happy with it. We're happy with it. We have now concluded our police negotiations, our police lieutenants and captains negotiation, and now CSEA. So with that being said, would someone care to make a motion to approve this?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. I'd like to also thank Dawn and her staff, as well as the committee of CSEA members in Eastchester for working everything out very reasonably. Okay, next we have a memorandum from the Superintendent of Highways regarding the 2025 street resurfacing contract award, and all the bids were opened up on April 29th. And the resolution is that the 2025 street resurfacing contract be awarded to the low bidder, Petrillo Contracting of Mount Vernon, at the unit prices bid. Someone care to make a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Lastly, we have a memorandum from the Superintendent of Highways regarding the 2025 sidewalk and curb replacement contract award, and all the bids were opened up on the 29th as well. And for greater savings, the contract award for 2025 sidewalk and curb project will be in two parts. The base bid award to low bidder Palladino Concrete Creations Corp. of Mount Vernon, and also options A and B to Peduto Construction of New Rochelle at unit prices bid. I'll make the motion on this and ask for a second, please.
Second.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Okay, that brings us to miscellaneous business. There being none, we move to council member reports. Councilman Marcocha.
Thank you, Supervisor. Just a brief report here on Lake Isle. Membership registration continues, and everyone is welcome to register now to avoid long lines later. Both the pool season and the outdoor tennis season officially begin Saturday, May 24th. The membership office hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on weekends. The next advisory board meeting is scheduled for tomorrow night, Wednesday, May 7th at 7 p.m. in the community center at Lake Isle. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Councilwoman Nicholson.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, everyone. This week, we have a lot of events happening here in Eastchester. On Thursday night, here at Town Hall, we have the Eastchester Care Coalition with the 8th Annual Candlelight Vigil, which will kick off at 7 p.m. So come out and support, come together as a community. And the next big event is on Saturday at Relay for Life American Cancer Society Eastchester event. It's going to be a good one. We are now back at the old location, Concordia, which is now the Iona University campus on Route 22, and that kicks off at 5 p.m., and it goes from 5 to 10. Come join in remembering, celebrating, and fighting back for those with cancer. And also, on behalf of the Eastchester Environmental Committee, all helping hands would be appreciated on Sunday from 11 to 1 p.m. at the Girl Scout Highland at the cabin. They're having a cleanup. So come out. They have gloves and bags, and come and participate in this adventure for the Eastchester Environmental Committee. Thank you. That's all I have.
All right, Councilwoman Marcotte.
Thank you, Supervisor. I have no report this evening.
Okay, Councilman Giacobbe.
Thank you, Supervisor. For anybody looking for something to do for your first to sixth graders, the first week of August, the Recreation Department is working with Skyhawk Sports Academy for a one-week mini camp. You can log on to eastchester.gov for more details. I know it's a nice program to learn various sports for the kids. Pickleball and tennis are in full swing down at Leawood Park. If you're interested in playing, look on the website under Leawood Park in the Park and Recreation section for more information. We've been getting a lot of inquiries on how you can go down there and play basketball, pickleball, tennis, and bocce. The basketball and bocce you can walk on anytime. For pickleball and tennis, you can sign up online for a small fee. It gives you access to our program, and once you get in there, you can reserve spots. We have an attendant down there, so if you reserve, say, 3 p.m. on Friday, you go down there, you check in with our attendant, and the court will be reserved for you. So it has been working very well, and it's pretty easy to do. So thank you very much. That concludes my report.
All right, my own report, just a couple of things. First is we're going to add Recycle Coach to our town website, and that makes it easier for residents to find out your trash, recycling, green waste pickup, when we're picking up bulk or computer stuff or screens and all. So you'll just go onto the website, click that, you pop your address in, and that gives you the, the schedule for your particular zone. Because people are always wondering, hey, what section do I live in? I'm not sure, and they get a little confused. And then stuff goes out early, and it stays out, and it's out on the wrong day, or it's out, too late, or whatever the case might be. Also, we're going to start to get involved with a textile recycling program called Helpsy, and that's also a Recycle Coach app that you can add to your phone, and you can call them directly and have them pick up clothes if you like. A lot of people still go to Salvation Army or other places, put things in a box, but you can have them come to you to get your clothes, and it doesn't cost the town anything. Also, I wanted to congratulate Sonia Citron. She is an Eastchester resident. I mean, she doesn't live here anymore, but she grew up here, and I had the privilege of coaching her, as did our town attorney, Lou Rader, and she was the 3rd overall pick in the WNBA draft about a month and a half ago. She's an extraordinary athlete. And I can't take credit for her athletic prowess because it was all inborn, and she was just phenomenal. Even as a young person, she played way over her age level. But she was drafted by the Washington Mystics. She has almost every accolade you could get from NCAA play, all defensive team, rookie of the year, all freshman team, McDonald's All-American, Miss New York basketball. She represented the United States. She had all kinds of gold medals. I mean, she's extraordinary, and she's just a lovely person. Her folks are wonderful. They reside in town, and we wish her the very, very best in her career as a Washington Mystic. So maybe she comes to town, she plays in the Garden, we can go see her. but she's a good soul and a great athlete. Also, I wanted to mention that, as Commander Foster had mentioned, on the 15th at 7 p.m. at the Eastchester High School Auditorium, the veterans will be conducting their Memorial Day program, and Bob was very modest. It's really quite a moving thing to go to. And when you leave there, you have a whole different definition and different appeal and different approach to looking at the conflicts we've been through and what was done for us for our protection. And at 3 p.m. on the 18th, not the Sunday of Memorial Day weekend, on the 18th, there'll be a parade from 3 p.m. to Depot Square, leaving from the library all the way down to Depot Square. It's a good event. It's good to support it, and certainly the veterans are deserving of that. Also, I wanted to mention that the town lost a wonderful lady named Judith Blau. Judy Blau was a great soul, just a wonderful person that loved the town of Eastchester. She served on the Eastchester Beautification Committee for a very long time. She was also involved with the Treachers Environmental Education Program, which was like partnering with the Girl Scouts and was all about trees and planting trees, and we planted, thousands of trees during her tenure. And the trees that were planted have been, taken out and relocated different parts of the town after they become a little mature. And, kids literally have driven by, say, Ann Hutch School or Greenvale and say, I planted that tree back in 2007 or 2010 or whatever the case might be, and Judy was behind all of that. She also was on our architecture review board and our sign committee, and she was very particular about what was going in town. And she just was all about Eastchester and all about making the town look beautiful. And I got to tell you, I really gave her credit because she taught me all about continuity and how, you have to have consistent fencing around the town so you define the town. The same type of trees, on the perimeters to make sure that people knew they were in Eastchester and that when you were in this town, you felt, a connection of all the different neighborhoods. So she was really quite a special person, and we will certainly miss her, and it's a shame that she's gone. But, again, I want to thank her for all of her time. I've thanked her in the past, but she needs to be thanked posthumously now because she just did a magnificent job. So anyway, that concludes my report, and that brings us over to the second opportunity to address the board. Would anyone care to address us? Yes. Good evening.
My name's Anne-Marie Sweeney, and I live down in Chester Heights. I'm a lifelong resident of Eastchester. This is the second time I'm coming before the board, and this is really, to me, a quality of life issue. Since the town rescinded its overnight parking over a year ago, cars are now parked well over the 72-hour limit. Nothing's done about it. And because of this, one of my issues is when the street sweeper comes by, the front of my house never gets cleaned. In the past, the street sweeper always used to come on a scheduled Friday morning, maybe between 8:30 and 10 in the morning. My neighbor across the street has multiple cars because multiple people, kids in the family. And he knew to move his cars on Friday mornings so the street could get cleaned. And that doesn't happen anymore. I know on Garth Road, there are signs that there's no parking. I think it's Tuesday, but I'm not 100% sure.
Right, between a certain hour, cars have to be out.
Right, they have to move so the street can get cleaned. I would like to know how that can be facilitated in Chester Heights.
That's something that this board would be responsible for doing.
Okay, so how can that happen?
Well, we have to just make a decision to do that. Normally what we would do is we'd do like a letter to the neighborhood and just get everyone's opinion because it's important to do that. And then at that point, if there's support, then we would do it. I don't see why we would not. The only issue, of course, is sometimes, again, if Mr. Latello was here, he would tell you that, well, if I'm short on manpower for the day, I can't get a vehicle over there. Or if the vehicle goes down because it breaks often, because it's clogged with stuff all the time, then, he can't guarantee it, so to speak.
Right.
But I think if it was just a single street or two in that area, it probably would not be a problem. But we certainly will check it out, we'll vet it through everybody, and then if we can do it, we'll do it.
Because they used to, come by, I mean, I've lived on
It's a very good
Central
point.
Drive my whole life.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell you how many years that is.
all right, no problem.
But Friday morning, they always came by. And the street got cleaned.
Well, a lot of times, what happens sometimes, and I know the organization there is pretty much involved, is the community association sends a blast out to everybody saying, hey, don't forget, Friday, the fill-in-the-blank date is street cleaning day, so get your cars off the street, or at least everybody park in a certain location. They'll do that, and then they'll come back a week later, everyone parks in the other location, and they cover the area that wasn't done yet. So that's something we could try as well, but I think it would be easier just to have, the town just have a street sign that says, hey, Monday mornings from 9 to 10, don't be parking here, That's something we could do.
And there's a few other issues. So I live on Central Drive, and one of the streets coming into Central is Thomas Place. At the corner of Central and Thomas, there's a stop sign. 9 times out of 10, there's a car parked right up to the end of the block. It's very difficult to navigate and turn into Central Drive from Thomas Place. It used to be the same thing on Thomas and Archer. You'd come up Archer,
Yes,
but they put a sign up, no parking
from here to corner,
from here to the corner.
okay.
And I would love to see that on Central, especially in the wintertime when it's icy.
So basically,
We
just
have a lot of
let's
snow.
be specific, so I'm clear on it. So you're saying if you're coming out of Central, heading southbound, coming out toward Thomas,
If you're coming out of Central
yes,
and
You
you
would-
want to make a right turn onto Thomas,
to go to Archer,
just go up that hill. It's hard because there's a car parked right at the corner many
right at the
times.
edge, yeah.
And if you're coming down Thomas and you want to make a
A
left
left,
into
into
Central,
Central,
it's very hard. You got to loop around that.
yeah, plus it's a hill too, so.
And it's a hill.
yeah.
And if it's icy,
Okay.
it-
All right, well,
it's
the
difficult.
chief is here. You can make a note of that. We'll look it over,
Okay.
see what we can do there, because that's, we got to be careful there. I know those young kids live in the corner house there, so we don't want to have anybody, in harm's way.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, if I recall correctly, too, aren't you not supposed to park, isn't there like a 30-foot setback?
It's 30 feet from the
30
corner.
feet from a stop sign anyway.
30 feet setback.
Right.
But, you
But people,
usually
yeah, I
they'll
know, yeah.
ticket on that.
So we should maybe either start writing tickets on it or just put a sign up.
Supervisor, they do issue tickets, we do get them in court sometimes. I mean, obviously, if somebody sees it, they call, they'll come out, or if they're driving around, they see it, they'll issue tickets down the court. We handle them, sometimes on a regular basis. So I think a lot of neighborhoods do complain about it, and the cops go out and enforce, those infractions.
Yeah, but a sign can't hurt, right?
And just one more thing, several of the signs on Parkview and Thomas, where it says no parking this side of the street, I know on Thomas Place, the sign is so faded, there's no writing at all. So I don't know who would be responsible for that.
Yeah, what happens is normally Lieutenant Graff of the police department will go out there, she'll take a spin, make sure, verify everything, and then she'll communicate to the Franco Batista, who does our sign work, and we'll get the signs reprinted and put back up again.
And there's one sign on Parkview that's turned completely upside down.
Yeah, probably a screw came out of the top and it just spun down, yeah.
So it's just that, and I have to say too, because of this massive parking on the streets, if I have company over, my company can't park on the street. I hate that 72, when people park over 72 hours. And what happens is with so many delivery trucks coming in and out, there's no place for a delivery truck to move over and let vehicles go by while they're making a delivery. They just have to
Plop it
park
right in the middle of the street. I
road.
know, yeah.
And if an emergency vehicle is coming up, like an ambulance or a fire truck, the person that's waiting for that emergency service is going to have to wait. So to me, that's a concern.
Well, 72 hours is clearly just an enforcement issue. And, they used to mark the tires at chalk, now it's all done by photograph and computer, so it should be easy to do a couple tickets there.
Yeah, yeah. I know these are small things.
Yeah, it's
but
quality of life.
it's quality of life.
Right.
And,
Important.
I'm just used to a quality of life here in Eastchester for over 70 years.
You got it.
Thank you for
Thank
all
you,
you
Ms. Sweeney.
do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, there being no one else, would we all kindly rise for a moment of silence for Judy Blau, and we'll be adjourned thereafter. Thank you very much, everyone. We're adjourned.
Thank you.